Hey everybody, Quantum here, and in this video we are going to get back into the swing of things with Disney Lorcana, bringing you some Sapphire Steel gameplay, a deck that I think is going to be pretty good moving into Set 7's meta, Archazia's Island. And so I have a simulation video for you here, but make sure you're subscribed if you want to see card reviews and more matchups, and of course, as always, the deck profiles. I will say it's been a little bit since I did play Lorcana last. It's been a couple weeks, so I am a little rusty. But as per the thumbnail, my friend here is going to be on Ruby Emerald, playing some of those new cards. It's going to be quite interesting to see what Ruby decks do in this format, but I do think Sapphire is the clear winner in Set 7. But again, we'll see how the meta develops. Regardless, you're going to see some new cards being played on both of our ends here, and the deck list that I have here is by no means good, honestly. I threw it together literally in 2 minutes prior to me jumping into a game with my friend here. I just loaded up Blue Steel on Dreamborn and went through ink colors, or ink cost 1 through 5 basically, and put in the new Tamatoa. And I put in some other new cards, but they're definitely like after you see some of the interactions in this deck, you're gonna see like, holy crap, like some of the potential that you could do with like Lucky Dimes and Aerials and stuff is just like mind blowing in my opinion. And again, we'll cover that in a deck profile. So here my opponent goes, 1 card soldiers, the 1-drop, if you have a damaged character in play, it gets +2 strength, which is pretty good. And then turn 2 Queen of Hearts. So they probably have the turn 3 Queen of Hearts shift. Queen of Hearts now has 2 cards on 2 cost that the Queen of Hearts, the new Queen of Hearts, the Ruby Emerald one, can shift onto because it's a shift 3. So I play it slow. I go ramp to gain back the tempo, but I have to be careful here if my opponent starts aggressively questing. And this new queen does quest for 2. Now, the weakness of this queen is the 2 strength. It gets brawled away, it gets ice block C-suit for red-blue matchups, etc. But if it goes unchecked, it is an early shift target that's 6 toughness. And outside of Ruby decks, like, it could be a little difficult to deal with early on if it drops, and you're going to see me struggle a little bit here. So my Hiram comes into play on 4. This is standard blue steel, stuff that's happening here, or even red blue stuff. But I do take a damage because of the Queen of Hearts here. And I'm like, okay, next turn I can like sing Zeus and hard cast the Let the Storm Rage on if I really want to get rid of that queen. But my friend here does a really interesting play in playing one of the new cards, which I totally didn't account for. In a bounce card, if I have a damaged character and play, it costs like 1, they can just bounce a character back. Now, one of the struggles with this blue-red deck is card draw. How do you maintain card advantage? How do you get back card advantage? You can see we have a lot of cards in hand, but we have almost no board presence. Can we actually make that up here? So I'm going to end up thinking for a little while because, my friend did mess up my potential follow-through play because I totally didn't see that green card coming, but this is why you have to practice. You start to understand what's in the meta and what lines of play you're susceptible to. So I start off with a popsicle to draw 1, then I ink the sail, which I guess is okay. I probably should have inked the John Silver, but it's fine here. The reason I put John Silver's in the deck is for the Smee interaction and to protect like the Tamatoa, the new one that I think has 5 willpower. Anyways, my opponent plays the Scar, and this is a card from, I think, Shimmering Skies, if I remember correctly. Whenever one of your characters challenges a damaged character, which all of my characters coming into play are damaged thanks to the Queen, they draw a card. So this is one of the card draw engines that you could play in red-green, but my friend even acknowledged like it's probably not the best. I think you're still going to really rely on Clarabelle, but being a damage-based deck, there could be a case to be made that Dinner Bell might be a playable card, and also the Prince shift that will banish all damaged characters on your opponent's field is also a really good option. So here I'm going to finally be able to get rid of this queen. It's going to take up my whole turn though, which isn't great. You're going to have to hard cast the Let the Storm Rage on and then sing the Zeus with the Hiram. There is a case to be made. No, I couldn't do it any other way, right? Because I have to sing with the Hiram because I want to get rid of this Prince because it's questing for 2. I can't target it because of ward, so I couldn't have hard casted the Zeus and played a Storm to get rid of the Queen. They're both questing for 2, so I guess in this instance that was really all I could do. Let me know in the comment section below if there was a better line of play to get rid of both the Queen and the Prince. I guess I value getting rid of the Queen more. Yeah, I mean, if I would have just hard cast it to, like, maybe that would have been better, right? No, I couldn't. What am I saying? I have to challenge the Prince and then hard cast Storm on the Scar. maybe that would have been better. Leaving the Queen of Hearts up, but then I deal with it next turn is probably better. They top deck an Ursula Deceiver though and rip my Song out of my hand, which hurts. Now that they see my hand, they'll know not to challenge my Hiram and just continue to quest since they have such an advantage, right? Because I left the Hiram with the damage because I was like, I want you to challenge with the Prince so that you don't quest. But my friend, after seeing my hand here, knows like, yeah, I'm just going to pressure and continue to quest. They're going to go up to, I think, 15 because they're going to quest with the Scar as well. What I realized after playing Blue Steel, and you'll see some cards that I put in this deck, which, you shouldn't be playing in Blue Steel. Like I said, I put this deck together 2 minutes ahead of this match. Just like I didn't even know what all of the new cards do just yet. But some of the 2 cost items, like the new Ice Block, should go in red blue, not necessarily Sapphire Steel. You're probably better off playing Fishbone Quill in this deck again. Actually, now that I think about it. Again, I'll put together a refined list once I have time to actually go through the cards and think about the metagame. There's some clear winners here, and a lot of them come out of the blue color, which is, again, remarkable considering we just got Sail in the last set as well. And we saw what that did into the metagame, right, with red, blue, and Blurple becoming a deck now, etc. But the new Tamatoa is definitely crazy here. We're going to play out a second Hiram, challenge with our existing Hiram to get rid of the Prince, play out some Popsicles, and because... this is what's crazy, and again, I was learning this as I was playing it, right? So we play the Bell for free. This new Bell is also just it might be one of the best. It might be the best card in this set, honestly, or one of the best for sure. Anyways, we play the Bell for free by banishing Photosphere. We play a second Popsicle, and we're gonna pop both the Popsicles because my opponent now is on virtually no cards, and I don't want him to challenge and start drawing with the Scar. And it's totally fine to aggressively use your item resources now because that Tamatoa comes into play and gets you 2 items back, which is absolutely just insane. Just come into play, get back 2 Popsicles, and then that's just a draw 2, and then another draw 2 off Hiram, or a draw 4. What? That is just mind-blowing to me. So if you can build Blue Steel, and this is I think what I was going for when I was first putting the deck together within 2 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I can put Songs in the deck, which is why you see Storm and Strength, slow down my opponent enough, and then just crush him in the end game. But I forgot to put Lucky Dimes in the deck, which the new Tamatoa will be able to play for free on Quest. And I put Gontus instead of Aerials just for the ink ability because I didn't put Fishbones in. So yeah, like I said, thinking back, there's definitely a better way to build this deck. But the reason I wanted to use Songs in this build is because of this new Bell. You could technically go turn 1, Photosphere or Popsicle, banish it, and then play the Bell on turn 1 for free. You have a 3/3, 3-cost Singer, right? Cinderella Power Crap. What? And then you can sing Storm on turn 2 with the spell. That's a 3/3. You have a 3/3 on turn 1 that's not going to get outed by anything the opponent plays. There's no other downside to Bell. She's not taking damage from being exerted like a Smee, etc. It's just a really I don't know. Yeah, so you see why did I put Beast Tragic Hero in this deck? So again, when you play test and you're like, oh, I actually don't need Beast Tragic Hero because look how many cards I'm able to draw, and now I'm just gonna play Tamatoa and yeah, just get cards back for free. So Beast Tragic Hero draw engine, let this video be definitive proof that you probably will never play Beast again in Blue Steel. Not even Wheel. You don't even need a whole new world. It's look at this. This is crazy. I mean, to be fair, it's matchup dependent and it depends on how the metagame goes. But a whole new world now seems like a liability, right? Why would I want to give my opponent a fresh 7? I don't need to aggressively ramp. And even if I am aggressively ramping, I have so many ways to recur items and have card draw through Hiram and stuff. I've talked about this before in my Blue Steel deck profiles, right, guys? You just, the fact that you have 8 1-drop cantrips, you have 4 Photosphere, 4 Popsicle, and they draw through your deck, and then the Hiram draws through your deck. That is just insane, right? So I end up disconnecting here and then having to reconnect. Thankfully, the board state saved because I actually thought I could have had game and came back from this match. To be honest, I shouldn't have lost it. If I built the deck correctly to begin with, I would not have lost. And my friend knows this red-green deck is still kind of an experimental deck. We're testing things out, right? So this isn't a hyper-competitive match by any means. But if I was playing Lucky Dime, quest with that Tamatoa, put down a dime, and then just dime something, right? Dime a Gontu, or if I put Aerials in the deck, or the 8-cost Tamatoa, etc. Like I said in the beginning, when I built this deck, I just went through cost curve of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I really didn't go higher than that, except for the Tamatoa, I don't think, which you can obviously see in my hand. So I just wanted to put a bunch of items in for the bell. I wanted to put the songs in to test out the bell. But clearly you can see here, like, if you can aggressively ramp, like, this game would have been over, because I would have been able to play 2 Gontus, not just the one, because I'm 1 ink short here. Or if I would have played the second sail instead of inking it and ramped up aggressively, I could have done better. But here I'm overthinking it, because I'm like, yeah, there's no way for me to get this other Gontu on board. And because he's on Ruby and he drew a card and passed, I'm like, oh, he might be on a Be Prepared. So it's inconsequential, because I'm not getting to 20 lore next turn anyway. So I'm going to play the Pete to protect my board from a Be Prepared, play out a Popsicle, and then next turn I can quest. And then I pass back to him. He goes to 19. I take out whatever he draws with the songs, unless he top decks the Prince that has Ward. And I'm like, oh no, because I also didn't put Grab Your Swords into my deck, which is a mistake. I think he definitely played Grab Your Swords. I show him my removal, and I'm like, yeah, like, I had the answer for whatever you played except for a Ward character, but I get appropriately punished, so I deservedly lose this match. But this is why you test, right? If you're fearful of these Ward characters, etc., you definitely should be playing Grab Your Swords. And the Vision Slab on my opponent's end makes it so that he gains lore every turn, as long as there's a damaged character in play, I believe. I don't know if it's your opponent's or just a damaged character. And then I can't move damage counter, so I can't Popsicle heal. People can't Rapunzel heal. Honestly, like, Amber, I was talking to my friend, he was like, yeah, Amber should be, like, cooked this format just because of how powerful Sapphire is, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, I show him my hand here, and I'm like, look at all these dead cards. So clearly there's a better way to build blue steel, which, again, what can you ask for? I'm trying to put it together in 2 minutes. So here my friend is showing me kind of some of the stuff he's been putting in the deck. Obviously, Clarabelle is probably the best card in the deck still. The fact that, like, for example, if he was able to actually play it out there, he would have drawn like 10 cards. Crazy. Yeah, but he's got the new Queen shifts as well. He's looking for the Prince because he's trying out the new Hercules legendary action. I forget what it was called there, but it's from the Hercules movie or franchise. And he's able to play the 9-cost Prince, which will banish basically. It's basically a one-sided grab, a one-sided Be Prepared. If you're able to play this either through the Shift 6 onto the Ward Prince, Philip, or through the new legendary Emerald action. I see the name there. I just can't read it upside down. The something of Hercules, whatever. But yeah, if he has the Queen on board and everything's coming into play with damage, and then he plays that Prince, it just wipes the board, and he's in a pretty good spot because he has a 3-questing, 6/6 evasive. But of course, red-green, they're susceptible to just getting their board blown out, right? Like Zeus's or Be Prepared, etc. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you made it this far, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching. If you did, Quantum is out.